average, a 305 on base average for Soriano. First pitch breaking ball is ball one to Soriano. Soriano is on a 6-game hitting streak right now, but actually he's been slumping. It hasn't been much of a 6-game hitting streak with the low 207 average, just 1 hit per game. It's now 2 balls, no strikes. Soriano is hitting 200 on this road trip. And for his last 16 games, he's been a 157 hitter, going 11 for 70. Moeller catches the corner, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
And Soriano, a very streaky hitter, so you just hope he stays cold while he's in town. He's had some big games in this ballpark. One of those guys, when he gets on a roll, it can be tough to get out. He doesn't walk much. He swings at pitches all over the place.
There's a shot past a diving Keppinger into the left field corner. Now kicks back towards second base. Soriano heads for second. Tejada with the throw. A double for Soriano. His 14th double of the year. He hit a bullet to the right of Keppinger, and it kicked off that facing. Here's the double.
Yeah, he got the head out in front of that fastball. As I mentioned, Soriano doesn't walk much, but he does obviously bring power to the leadoff spot. Only Ricky Henderson has hit more leadoff home runs than Alfonso Soriano. So Cubs with an opportunity here with this leadoff double in the top of the first. It was against the Cubs that Brian started his 2009 season, and he got ambushed on an inning and an inning plus, and allowed 7 earned runs. Inning and 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs. A lot of chinkers though, if I recall, seeing eye hits and things of that nature.
Yeah. Ryan Theriot, 4-game hitting streak. Takes a shot up the right field line. Hunter Pence giving chase, but it's out of play for him. There's strike one. Theriot starts the night at 291. With 6 homers, 23 runs batted in. He had never hit a home run until a few days ago away from Wrigley Field in his career. Bob Brenly, who does television for the Cubs, was saying that in their final game of that Cincinnati series, they had 3 leadoff doubles in 3 different innings, and only once did the runner make it to third base, and he didn't score in that one.
Probably watched Theriot was showing bunt right there.
Yeah,
probably they got together, had a little meeting of the mind, said, "Hey, we got to do a better job of advancing that base runner."
Cubs are 14th in runs scored. They led the league last year in runs scored, and they were a very powerful club. Fly ball to center. Bourne is backing. Soriano will go back to tag. Bourne in for the catch and the throw, and Soriano's coming to third base. Tejada caught it, turned around, took a look, didn't think he could throw him out, and it's out number 1. So the Cubs do advance the runner. Mike Quades, the coach at third base.
The tag by Soriano, and it looked like Miggy might have had a shot on, but obviously somebody was telling him, no, don't bother throwing. That's one you're not going to turn, look, and then analyze. You're either going to be told 3-3-3 or hold it.
Now with a runner at third and 1 out, the infield comes in, and it's Kosuke Fukudome with a .290 average, 5 homers, 20 runs batted in. He has been the most reliable Cub with men in scoring position. And there's ball 1 to him with Derek Lee on deck. Fukudome has the 9th best on base average in the league at .420. The Cubs as a team are hitting only .231 with men in scoring position. Fukudome .379. Ground ball, and that's up the right field line to make it 1-0 Cubs. Fukudome heading to second. The fan reached over and interfered with it. It's ruled a double by Paul Schreiber, the umpire at first. And that man got himself a baseball. Might get himself ushered out of the ballpark. 1-0 as Fukudome gets his 21st run batted in.
Infield in trying to cut that run off, and I don't know if they're back, if Lance was able to make a play on that ball or not. We'll never know. Just to drop it back. It's too late now.
Damage had already been done. Soriano scoring to make it 1-0. Now it's Derek Lee. The umpires are conferring about something. Joe West is pointing over to that area. The umpires have the right to place the batter and the runners wherever they think they might have gone had it not been for the fan interference. They might be just saying we need to get that guy out of the ball game. Yeah, I think that's what Joe West was saying. He needs to be ushered out of the park for fan interference, and that's standard. So it looks like his family's staying, but he's going. All right, Dad, we'll catch up with you later. Derek Lee's the batter.
Just put some of those Bobby Valentine glasses on and come on back down. You just can't help yourself. You're trying to make a play.
Strike to Lee. There they are. They moved over a seat, didn't
where's Dad? They took Dad away.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's just trying to get us a souvenir. Don't worry, kids.
262 for D. Lee. 6 homers, 23 driven in. And Moeller misses for 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's been rough sledding for Derek and many of his teammates on the Cubs this season. He's had plenty of company, but Fukudome has been a standout performer. Moeller misses there, and the count runs to 2-1 on D. Lee. He's on a 7-game hitting streak. Things are picking up with him, but a year ago today he was 284 with 13 homers. Now he's 262 with 6 homers.
Yeah, last couple weeks he's been swinging in much better.
And that one moves out to right field for a hit. Fukudome rounding third, coming home to make it 2-0 Cubs. And the RBI single by Lee. 8-game hitting streak for Lee. That's his 24th run batted in.
And when you make that decision to pull the infield in early in the game, you're trying to cut off that 1 run, but you do set yourself up for a potential big inning by pulling the infield in. And again, I don't know that with the infield back, there would have been a play on Fukudome's ball anyway. And not a bad pitch at all. It's just a little slider down and away. When Lee struggles, he pulls off the ball. He gets a little pull conscious. When he's going well, he shows the ability to hit it the other way.
Milton Bradley, also a slow starter, 218, 5 homers, 14 runs batted in. He's been banged up. Bradley looks at ball 1. Bradley was the guy the Cubs wanted to try to bolster the middle of their lineup when facing a tough right-handed pitcher. But he simply has not been able to get it started offensively this season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bradley's been in and out of the lineup. And in the past, when healthy, he's been a very fine run producer. But the downside is the injuries that have dogged him for much of his career. Last year, he was primarily a DH for the Texas Rangers, but now he has to play the outfield, and that exposes him to more injuries.
Ryan able to slip a high fastball by him. Give you an idea how bad he was going. He's actually raised his batting average 91 points in the last 3 weeks.
Ooh. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you can do the math at home. He's now hitting 218, so he didn't have a whole lot going on at all.
He had a groin strain. He was tossed out by Larry Vanover, and that caused some problems. Continues to have difficult issues with umpiring. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. So he's on the first year of a 3-year deal, and certainly the Cubs management hoping that things smooth out with this 31-year-old performer who hit .321 last year for the Rangers with 22 homers, 77 runs batted in. Strike 3 as Moeller gets out number 2. And it's Mike Fontenot.
Just a little cut fastball. Down around the knees, but right over the fat part of the plate. Bradley obviously looking for something else. Maybe thinking change up a curveball there.
Well, Dad's going to get some company, it appears. Sometimes those fans are merely repositioned in another area.
Yeah, they got to
Not exactly like the witness protection program, but the same principle. There's Mike Fontenot taking ball one. 232, 5 homers, 25 runs batted in with a .314 on base average. Now, Fontenot, another of those guys who's had quite a bit of playing time because of the injury to Aramis Ramirez at third base. Last year, he really hit well. That had not been the case so far this season after Mike wound up at .305 last season. Drove in 40 runs and 243 at bats.
Aramis Ramirez was a dislocated left shoulder. He's out. Ryan Friel, who just joined them, is on the disabled list. Aaron Miles also on the DL, switch hitting infielder.
We're hearing that Miles might come back off the DL tomorrow. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Fontenot. He and Terrio were double playmates at LSU. Now they're manning the left side of the infield for Lou Piniella tonight. Fontenot's driven in 7 runs in his last 6 games. Several of the Cubs were out for early hitting today after their off day. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cubs are 12-16 on the road.
Trying to throw that little two-seamer that runs back to the inside corner. Couldn't quite get it there. Good try, though. Fontenot does not get cheated. He's a pretty healthy rep when he decides to let it fly.
Full count. 2 outs. D. Lee will take off from first base. This will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Moeller. He opposed Lilly in his first outing of the year, losing that game 11-6 here. There's a shot into right center field. Lee keeps turning toward third base on a single by Fontenot. The Cubs get their 4th hit of the inning with Soto coming up.
Now with Lee on the move, he makes it to third base easily. Good at bat by Fontenot, working the count full, then delivering a solid single to center. First inning starting to look a little bit like Bryant's first start against the Cubs this year. Although these balls pretty sharply struck.
In that game against Ted Lilly, he allowed 8 hits and 7 runs in 1 2/3 innings. Now Soto, 204 average, 2 homers, 13 runs batted in for the second-year catcher. He has a higher on-base average than slugging percentage right now. That's pretty weird. He drove in 86 runs for them last year. And he smacks a line drive. RBI single to left. It's 3-0 Cubs. Soto jumping all over that first pitch for hit number 5 of the inning. That's his 14th run batted in. Dewey Robinson's on his way to the hill. Two starts ago, Brian Moeller went the distance at Pittsburgh, winning that game 6-1. Now that first start against the Cubs, the inning and 2/3, his shortest of the year. Then in his second start at Pittsburgh, he went 2 1/3, but removed those ugly numbers from the process. He is 2-1 this season with a decent ERA.
Yeah, really, since coming off the disabled list at the beginning of May in Washington, he's pitched well just about every time out. You know, that one start here against the Rangers, he was going along nicely, and then they jumped on him. He allowed 6 runs in that ball game in 5 innings, but the other one's pretty solid work.
Now the 8th man to bat in the inning, Andres Blanco takes, and there's strike 1 to him, former Kansas City Royal. 208, no homers, 1 run batted in for the switch hitting infielder. Blanco came up from AAA Iowa prior to the game on May 27th. This is his 9th game. It's his 7th start at second base. He started once at short. No balls and 2 strikes. He was in the big leagues with Kansas City from 04 through 06 in 78 games. Last year he played at Iowa, hitting .285 after he had signed as a minor league free agent. 248 career average, no homers, 20 runs batted in for Andres Blanco. Muller's now thrown 28 pitches, trailing 3-0. And a line shot to center on one hop to Michael Bourne. Here's a throw to the plate and the tag by Podge, and he tags out Fontenot. The Cubs get 3 runs in the inning on 6 hits. They lead 2. It's the Cubs 3 and the Astros coming up. Lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It's Michael Bourne in center field. Miguel Tejada, the league leader in batting average at shortstop. Hunter Pence in right field. Carlos Lee left field. Lance Berkman first base. Ivan Pudge Rodriguez catcher. Jeff Kempinger third base. Edwin Mason at second base. Brian Moeller pitcher.
Left-hander Ted Lilly works for the Cubs this evening. You look at his record against the Astros. It's a good one. 8 starts. He's 5-1 with a .322 earned run average.
Lefty on lefty, Michael Bourne standing in to lead it off in the Houston first. Looking at strike one. Paul Noward is a home plate umpire. Bourne 298, 1 homer, 13 runs batted in, 371 on base average.
Well, Lilly, he's fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. He likes to work down, then up in the zone with his fastball. He gets a lot of swings and misses and lazy fly balls with his high fastball.
2-1. Lilly leads the Cubs in victories with 6. Has a fine ERA, 3.28.
17-game winner last year for the Cubs and 15 the year before. That was his first season with Chicago. Signed a 4-year deal in December of 2006. That high fastball, not overpowering in terms of velocity, but certainly an effective pitch for him. Deceptive motion, hides the ball well, and that fastball gets in on the hitters a lot more quickly than they anticipate with a guy who doesn't light up the radar gun.
Strike 3. Bourne was headed for first base, and he's hopping up and down after the Paul Noward call.
Well, it looked like it was going to be ball 4. And his breaking pitch up like that, you almost never see call. We'll see if now it stays consistent there. It's a tough thing for a hitter. You tell yourself, whatever you do, don't swing at that high stuff with Lilly out there.
Miguel Tejada grounds one. Fontenot to his left. Goes to Derek Lee. The batting leader in the National League is retired from 5-3.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight. Soriano's in left, Fukudome in center, Milton Bradley's the right fielder. Infield features Fontenot, Ontario, and Blanco, and Leo. And Soto. What's wrong with Derek Lee? He doesn't belong. Give him an O. Vanna, we want to buy an O for Derek Lee.
There you go. Hunter Pence is tied for third in the league in batting average right now. 342 for Hunter. 7 homers, 25 runs batted in. He's hit 346 on this homestand. Lilly is in front, 0-1 in the count. The Astros have had only one winning homestand so far this year. They're 5-2 on this one with 3 games to go. Lilly misses with the curve, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Pence, a 176 hitter against Lilly. And there he is, tied with Carlos Beltran for third in batting average.
Good swing.
1-2 for Lilly.
Lilly's been tough to hit this year. League hitting .226 against him. Left-handed batter's a .189, righty's .236.
Hammered on a line, deep to left, over Soriano. It bangs off the bullpen wall. Pence into second. The throw is cut off. 2-out double for Hunter Pence. That's his 70th hit of the year. Double number 9.
We try to break Hunter Pence down the first couple of years to this year, and 2 things jump out at you. One, he's drawn way more walks. He's cut down on the strikeouts, and he stayed in counts when behind in the count. And a lot more done this year than last. That was a pitcher's count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, a bit of a hanging breaking ball, and he jumped all over it.
Carlos Lee, 5-game hitting streak. 321 average, 10 homers, 38 runs batted in, has gotten hot. He's hitting .407 on this homestand, 11 for 27. He's hitting .409 against lefties this year. There's strike 1. You mentioned Lilly hides the ball well. Has that turn away from the hitter. Interesting delivery.
Yeah, kind of rocks that front shoulder, kind of turns it inward.
Grounded to Fontenot. Over the lead, it's no runs, a hit, and a man left. 3-0 Cubs after 1. Astros are celebrating their 10 years in Minute Maid Park this season. To honor some of the great moments in the ballpark, we present the 10-year bracket challenge. Round 2 continues this week with Brad Ausmus homer in the bottom of the 9th against the Braves in the 2005 NLDS versus Chris Burke's homer in the 18th inning of that same game. It's a tough choice. Go to Astros.com to cast your vote today.
What about the Berkman Grand Slam that made it all possible?
Well, that's not one of the choices, but that would make it a good threesome. You can only do 2 a week. There's strike 1 to Ted Lilly, an 083 hitter with no homers, 2 runs batted in. Cubs sending 8 to the plate.
That for you.
Okay.
I was circling there that 083, and that's why Mike Quade sent Fontenot home and he was thrown out there in the last inning. I mean, it was one of those deals where he knew a good throw was going to get his man, but with the pitcher coming up, he was going to take a chance and hope for an errant throw or a mishandle or something like that.
Good point. Third base coach has to process all that information in advance. Who is the next batter? How many outs in the inning? Outfield arms. Michael Bourne got his 4th outfield assist on the play. Good tag by Pudge Rodriguez. And Pudge was kind of relaxing as that throw was on its way to the plate. And he sprang into action to tag out Fontenot. Now 3-1 for Moeller on the pitcher Lilly. 3-2. So Bryant, through 29 pitches in the first inning, has already fallen behind 3-0. Really needs to put a stop on the Cubs right here and set a different tone for himself tonight. Lilly smashes one to right center field. That will go all the way to the wall. Lilly heads for second base. Mike Quade will motion him around to third. Looping throw comes in. Here's a relay from Mason Ed. He dives, and Lilly winds up with a triple.
And once Ted Lilly catches his breath, and that may be 5 minutes from now, he'll look at Quade and go, see, you should have held him up. I would have drove them all in. Yeah, things not going well for Bryant at all. Getting cuffed around, and again, every ball that they've hit off him, they've been solid. There's been no cheapies here tonight. Just getting that fastball up over the fat part of the plate.
Diving in with a triple. Infielders are halfway up the middle. Now they're going to appeal at first that he missed the bag, and he did not.
He stumbled as he was going down the line. But I kept an eye on that too. Watch, he stumbles a little bit. Hard to tell from that angle, but I thought his right toe caught the corner of the bag.
Right there. That's his first career triple. He would have lost it had he missed the bag there.
It's amazing that he got a pitcher after almost throwing a shoe going down the line.
Now Lou Piniella, what's he saying? Not sure what his point is here. Whatever it is, everything is all right. Play will resume.
Lucky didn't roll an ankle.
Very lucky. He was kind of windmilling his arms as he came around first there at that angle. His body was tilted. It's strike 1 to Soriano.
And with Lilly the base runner, the Astros pull the infield in, but only part way. They're not too concerned with him going on contact here with nobody out.
Ground ball to third. Lilly hangs in there. Temperature goes at Soriano. 1 out. Fox Sports Houston has a Twitter page. Greg Lucas is tweeting, so sign on for additional information and insight at twitter.com/FS Houston. Ryan Theriot with a fly ball to center field in the first inning. That advanced Soriano from second to third base from where he scored on a Fukudome double. Infield stays halfway now, up the middle.
Yeah, if you play back in the middle, it's basically giving them a run on a slow ground ball. Lily's going to be able to score, but moving in like this, he won't be able to advance until the ball is through. And because he is the pitcher, and just he's not like he's Mike Hampton, and one of the really good athlete / pitchers. Probably feel like they can throw him out from that halfway in position as opposed to all the way in.
Strike, and it's even at 1-1. Ontario.
It's a key for Brian. Picking away at corners. Stay out of the heart of the strike zone. His fastball command is usually very good.
Two balls and one strike. Felipe Paulino, with that groin injury, said that he's glad he came out of the game in the second inning Sunday when he did. He thought he might have made it a lot worse. He felt it warming up in the bullpen, so the Astros went to that bullpen with Ortiz going 4 1/3 in relief. Strike makes it 2-2, and now Paulino day to day, so his spot in the rotation has not been announced for the Saturday game at Arizona. John Garland will be pitching for the D-backs. Felipe will be monitored. See if he can take that start or miss a start, whether he has to go on the disabled list. None of that is known yet. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Felipe said he's never had a groin injury before, so he really doesn't know how long the healing process will take.
Yeah, very difficult to predict. They usually take longer than you think.
Yeah. Walk to Terrio. First and third, 1 out for Fukudome now. First walk for Muller. He's only walked 11 in 42 innings this year.
Try to throw a little cutter to the inside corner and just misses.
Fukudome doubled up that right field line to make it 1-0. There have been a lot of stories about him recently, how well he's hit this year. Less Japanese media attention being paid to him this year. There's ball 1. And the Cubs challenged him to drive the ball more this year. So something is being made in some of the stories about his work over the winter, but apparently it was about the same thing he normally does with the batting coach he has worked with in Japan. One difference might be that last year his right elbow was bothering him. He had surgery, and he admitted after the season that the elbow might have been a bigger factor than he thought at the time last year. This year he's getting better extension. 2 balls, no strikes. It's 2-1 for Brian Muller. It's really interesting, the dynamics of a baseball team, the highs and lows, the problems with slumps. Some players get mired in them, others work their way out relatively quickly, and how the whole thing fits together over 162 games.
Fukudome, one of the more patient hitters in the game. You typically see him up there hitting in deep counts, 3-1, 3-2, almost every at bat.
He went 4 for 5 here in the 3rd game of the season, including a home run. Scored 4 runs in that game. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I would imagine that's a pitch that Lou Piniella wants him to take a rip at. And if they're talking about him hitting for more power, and we talk a lot about situational hitting. Well, if you've got some pop, and he does, 3-1s a time, you're looking to turn it loose. Working a walk is important, being disciplined is important, but when you get the pitcher backed into a corner and you're sitting on a pitch, or you're looking in a zone and that pitch is pretty much right down the middle, I imagine Lou, it's go ahead, swing it, man. Let it fly.
Terrio's going, and now it's foul off the face into the dugout. Comes out onto the field. Terio had a pretty good jump that time.
Fukudome, like so many of the Japanese hitters, a front foot hitter, gets his weight out on that front foot, and then the hands come.
The Cubs, no question, have had tough sledding this year. There's been no waltz for them to try to repeat their NL Central title. They're 3.5 games out right now, tied for third. The thing that they feel probably a little bit better about, not their 28-26 record, but the fact that they have not been buried in the standings. Still a very winnable division for them. They're going again, and it's bounced slowly to second with Lilly coming home, and Masonette throws it by Berkman. A run number 4 scores, and then the Cubs will have runners at second and third. Masonette looked home, and then he didn't get his body fully turned and tried a quick flip to Berkman and threw it past him.
And it's going to be an RBI for Fukudome, E4, and a play where Edman probably, you talk a lot about the baseball clock. Probably should have realized he had no play at home, so just go ahead and plant your foot and unload that ball to first base. Instead of this look here that costs him a little bit, and then he has to hurry to throw off balance, and he gets nobody. Case of trying to do a little too much there.
Second error for Masonette. Now Lee will be walked intentionally to load the bases with 1 out for Bradley. A 4-0 ball game, and Brian Moeller will try to prevent this game from becoming unraveled right here. With the error really complicating things for him, and Brandon Backey begins to tune up in the bullpen. And with Ortiz working 4 1/3 innings Sunday, that would be tough to get very many innings out of him tonight. Ortiz threw 63 pitches in that game Sunday. Now Milton Bradley, he struck out looking in the first. Bases loaded, 1 out for Bradley with Fontenot on deck. Moeller is 3-3 in his career against the Cubs. He delivers strike 1. Bases are loaded with Terrio at third base. At second base, Fukudome. At first, Lee. Big cut by Bradley. It's 0-2 to Milton. Milton was out with a calf strain. Came out of the game June 2nd with that. Missed a few days. Been a battle for him staying healthy this season. Had that knee surgery after the episode in San Diego in which he was wrestled to the ground by his skipper Bud Black. That one almost got him. It's 1-2.
He swung through a high fastball in his first at bat, and he just chased another one there for strike 2. So they decided to take a shot in with a cut fastball. See if they get off that, go down and away with something soft in hopes of setting up that high fastball again. Double play would be really good here.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
A little backdoor cutter. Just missing that outside corner.
Cecil Cooper's club trailing 4-0. Bases loaded, 1 out, and the Cubs second. Now it's a full count as once again that's close. Brian Moeller slowly walks in toward the mound. You can just tell by his body language he expects to get a call on one of those last 2 pitches.
Especially with Milton Bradley hitting. The umpires are supposed to be out to get him.
This is his 5th full count.
Paul didn't get the memo.
Right in the mitt.
And you know, Bradley's a guy with a good eye, drawn a lot of walks over the years, and he's got a pretty good idea of the strike zone, but that's awfully tough to take that pitch with 2 strikes.
Well, there was a little byplay there between Paul Nauert and Brian Moeller. A couple of words were said back and forth. And sometimes that's a pretty good way to work it out verbally. Have a little conference at the mound. You know the umpire's coming out. Say your piece. Don't show anybody up. Go back to work. What a task it is here at 3-2 with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Bradley taps one to second. Masonette with a flip. Tejada on to a stretching Berkman for a 4-6-3 double play. The Cubs come away with 1 on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left. They lead at 4-0. Coming up later in our Dodge Grab Live feature, we'll hear from Carlos Lee on the music on his iPod. Not sweet music in that dugout right now. Trailing 4-0 with Lilly on the mound. Lilly 5-1 lifetime against Houston. Spotted with this big lead. And now it's Berkman, Rodriguez, and Keppinger as the Astros try to work their way back in the home second. Lance has picked up the pace. He looks at that one upstairs for ball 1. 246 average, 10 homers, 32 runs batted in for Lance. He's at 364 on this homestand. 3 doubles and 3 runs batted in the 7 games so far. It's 2-0. Lance is 2 for 22 in his career against Ted Lilly. That one's in the air to right field.
Which has me wondering.
Yeah.
I'll wonder in a minute.
Okay.
First, I want to tell folks about this. Tomorrow night, 7:05 game here with the Cubs. And if you're one of the first 10,000 fans, you'll receive a special 10th season T-shirt. That's courtesy of the Methodist DeBakey Heart and Vascular Center. 10 seasons at Minute Maid Park. So one way to celebrate that, a T-shirt. 1-877-9-ASTROS for tickets or astros.com. Wondering if Lance Berkman has worse numbers against anybody he's had 20 at-bats or 20 plate appearances or more against.
Good questions.
It's many hold him down like that.
No. Pudge Rodriguez on a 5-game hitting streak begins the night at 265.
Yeah, and not many guys in the Astros lineup have good numbers against Ted Lilly. Keppinger does. He's hitting 350, 7 out of 20 against him. Miggy 231, Hunter $176, Carlos 240. Pudge done okay. 6 for 22 with 3 long balls.
Budge has driven in 7 runs in 7 games against the Cubs this season. This is his season high hitting streak of 5 games. He needs only 6 more games to become the all-time leader in games caught. He wants to break the record at Arlington. The Astros go to Arizona over the weekend for 3. And next Monday will be a day off, and the series against the Rangers Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's when he would like to break it. That's when Cecil Cooper wants him to break it. So it looks as if it'll happen. Maybe the 3rd game of that series. Pretty hard to orchestrate that right now. Sometimes he comes off the bench and catches. Rattles the cage of Giovanni Soto. Bounce to 3rd, backhanded. Fontenot with a throw to D. Lee. 2 outs. But that would be a special tribute in front of those Rangers fans. He played so many games in that ballpark. Jeff Keppinger. 276, 2 homers, 7 runs batted in.
Ira Coop might be calling the Rangers and say, here's the deal. I'll hold Pudge out just the right amount of games so he breaks it up there, but I want a percentage of the game. Either that or he's going to break it in Arizona. How many is he? 7 away? He couldn't break it in Arizona if he wanted to now, right?
No, he's 6 more, but he got a day game Thursday after a night game. Usually that would not be a game he would catch. We'll have to wait and see. Coop was non-committal on that.
He needs 6 more?
Yeah, he needs 6 more after this one.
We couldn't do it anyway.
No. Two balls and a strike. Keppinger has hit well against lefties. 306. 345 for his career. At home, 216. That's a little odd. 2 balls, 2 strikes, but Astros just past the 1/3 mark of the season, so that's not a lot of games to try to draw conclusions. His career average is 336 against the Cubs. Lilly misses, and it's 3-2 now to Keppinger.
Well, this one had Ted Lilly heading towards the Cubs dugout. He thought he had Keppinger wrung out.
Fouls it back. Lilly has really kept things together very nicely for the Chicago team with that 3.28 ERA for his first 11 starts. Last time he got a no decision in Atlanta, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Cubs won it in the 11th, 3-2. Fly ball behind second base, heads for the center fielder Fukudome. It's a 1-2-3 seconds for Lilly, a 4-0 lead for the Cubs. Cubs over the Astros. Fox Sports Houston joins the Astros in Action Foundation tomorrow by presenting 10 once-in-a-lifetime Astros experiences for auction during the game. Go to astros.com/community to find out more details on the bidding items. Proceeds from the auction will benefit Boys and Girls Clubs of Houston and Astros Urban Academy. And tune in for the pregame show tomorrow at 6:30, and you'll get the complete list of items and see how things are proceeding. Then we'll have more all during the game for you tomorrow night. Great packages there, including golf with JD and Jeff Bagwell at an exclusive Houston course. Mike Fontenot leads it off in the third inning. He singled to right center earlier. There's strike one to Fontenot. Pirates lead the Braves 3-2 at the end of 6 in Atlanta. Ross Ollendorf pitching for Pittsburgh against Derek Lowe for the Braves.
Brian Moeller bailed himself out with that double play off the bat of Milton Bradley to end the last inning. Now needs to post a 0. And really nice if you have a quick 1-2-3 inning. Save some energy. He's worked awfully hard through 2 innings.
To left field, Carlos Lee just watching it sail over his head and into the Landry's Crawford boxes. An opposite field home run for Fontenot, number 6.
So much for that idea.
Cubs lead at 5-0 as Fontenot drives in his 26th of the year.
And maybe just one of those nights. Can't figure anything out. And again, this breaking ball up. I haven't seen Fontenot shoot the ball that way very often.
No.
That's some pretty good opposite field pop for a guy who's not a real big guy.
Soto with a one hopper to Masonette. 1 out.
This day in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. 1980, Dave Kingman of the Cubs launches an air ball from left field during a 6-2 loss in Houston. Single off the bat of Alan Ashby. Kingman's throw to the plate lands in the Chicago dugout on the third base side on the fly. How did he do that? Ken Forrest finishes the scoring by singling home Ash from third. It's a nice 49th birthday gift for Astros skipper Bill Verdon.
Strike one to Blanco. He singled to center in the first inning. Kong was just a pathetic outfielder. Boy, was he bad. He was one of the worst I've ever seen. It was just brutal. Those Wrigley Field fans got all over him. He could hit some moonshots, though, couldn't he?
Oh, yeah. Tremendous power.
0 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, kind of so long and lanky and like a stork running around out there.
0 balls, 2 strikes. Jackie Moore managed him in Oakland. He told some interesting stories about that. He was able to gain Kingman's favor very early in that season because Kingman found out Jackie had access to a fishing boat. Very nice lake.
442 career home runs for Dave Kingman. Did that ball hit him? Or just twist the knee a little bit with the swing?
Oh, yeah, hit him on the right shin. That's a blow. So Kevin Bass broke a bone in his shin, fouling a ball off it just like that. 0 balls, 2 strikes. Lots of homers for Dave Kingman, but lots of flaws defensively. Many strikeouts as well. Interesting guy. There's a strikeout for Moeller. That's number 2.
Comes back with that cutter in.
Now Ted Lilly whacked his first major league triple and scored in the second inning. There's a lot of room to right center. And he airs it out. There's strike one. So with Carlos Zambrano being the great hitter on the Cubs pitching staff, he might have to take a little trash talk from Ted Lilly after that swing of the bat in the second inning. And now he bunts for a hit and fouls it. No balls, 2 strikes.
Come on, man. You can't triple one at bat and then try to bump with 2 outs the next.
What is that all about?
You got to go for it.
He's already flexed his muscles. Now he's trying to drop one down. And he does it again. And strikes out. And Fontenot's home run to the opposite field makes it 5-0 Cubs after a 10-pitch inning for Brian Moeller. Texas Ford dealers and by Southwest Airlines. Outside of the plaza on a warm night. Man taking it in as it's Cubs 5, Astros nothing here inside. Astros come up in the bottom of the 3rd. Ted Lilly has everything going his way. He's hit a triple and he's given up 1 base runner through the first 2 with a big 5-0 lead. Working to Edwin Masonette on a 3-game hitting streak. Masonette turns away from ball 1. Astros first round pick in the draft was a high school shortstop from Bonita High School in Laverne, California, Giovanni Meyer. Committed to attending Southern Cal. 1-2. Brandon Backey is in the on-deck circle. Has been warming up in the bullpen. So apparently he will pinch hit for Brian Moeller and then stay in the pitch. That's a way to save the position player.
Saves your bench a little bit. A long climb to get back in this one, and Brandon handles the bat well, so it makes sense.
Strikeout number 2 for Lilly.
First one was a high breaking ball called on Michael Bourne. This time Edwin goes out of the strike zone for a high fastball. It's a big part of Lilly's game.
Backey comes up to the plate for the first time this season. A career .258 hitter, 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. Former position player. Takes ball 1. Interesting way to enter a game, but several talented players around the majors are used in this fashion now. Lilly delivers a strike and it's 1-1. Brian Moeller tonight went 3 innings. He allowed 8 hits, 5 runs, had 2 walks, 3 strikeouts.
And Brian, who was winless here at Minute Maid Park this year, this is his 5th start. He came into this one 0-2 with an ERA of 8.24 here in his home ballpark. Really anxious to get on the road.
Yeah. 3 balls and a strike. Brandon Backey.
He had that dandy here against the Padres. 7 innings, 1-run baseball. Got no decision.
Mackey draws a 1-out walk. First walk for Lilly.
Thursday, it's a business fan special game. That means a 105 start. If you're one of the first 10,000 fans here, you'll receive an Oswalt the Wizard bobblehead, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Food Town. After the game, a concert. That's from Green River Ordnance. Tickets available on Astros.com or by calling 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Michael Bourne struck out looking in the first. He evidently thought the pitch was high. Had a word with the home plate umpire, Paul Nauert, before departing. Miguel Tejada is on deck. Fontenot's in at the edge of the grass at third base where the cutout is. Backey not only hits well but runs the base as well. There's strike one. Giovanni Meyer, the Astros first round pick, according to Baseball America, is the rare prep shortstop who projects to remain at that position in pro ball. No balls, 2 strikes. Has above average speed and a powerful arm. Shortstop from Bonita, California. He might go to Southern Cal. He occasionally pitches. He throws 91 to 93 when he pitches. Bourne commits to it and strikes out again. It's number 3 for Lilly. Miguel Tejada follows.
An exciting time for that young man and so many others. Here's the big curveball. Having a tough night, got rung up on a pitch that looked like it might have been out of the zone, and unable to check here on this curveball. Really coming into this game with 59 strikeouts in 71 innings and a .226 batting average against, one of the best marks in the National League. He can make you swing and miss.
Tejada went for the first pitch and grounded to third in the first inning. Miggy takes ball 1. Tejada is only 5 hits away from 2,000 for his career. Only 7 Dominican-born players have 2,000 hits. Tejada has the most hits any Astros ever had for the first 56 games of a season, 80. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lance Berkman had 78 hits through 56 games last year. Derek Bell had 78 hits. 95 first 56 games. It's quite a pace. Miggy's a little bit ahead of last year's pace, which was torrid to this point. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miguel Tejada.
The Texas Rangers with the 14th pick in the first-year player draft chose Matt Perk from Klein High School.
Left-hander. He's committed to what college?
TCU, I believe.
Okay. Tejada to shallow right. Anton Bradley in with the catch. In the third inning, no runs, no hits. A man stranded after 3. 5-0 Cubs. It's a 5-0 game. The Cubs leading it. Here's our Aflac trivia question for you tonight. Name the 2 Astro #1 overall picks since 1965. Top pick in the draft. Interesting to note that
I got one.
Okay. We'll go to the 4th inning now with the Cubs leading at 5-0. Top of the order with Alfonso Soriano. He opened the game with a double, then grounded out to third. Brandon Backey on the hill. This is his 3rd relief appearance since joining the Astros. And his first pitch is strike 1. Brandon in 2 games has an ERA of 15 in 3 innings with 1 strikeout and 2 walks. He breaks it off, and it's 1-2 to the free swinging Soriano. Backey had 6 minor league rehab starts, coming off the left side injury in spring training. 4 at Corpus Christi and 2 at Round Rock. Very good numbers in those 6 minor league games. And he gets a strikeout on a curveball to Soriano.
Soriano, talked about him over the years being such an aggressive hitter and a good bad ball hitter. So when you're thinking about going away, you go a little further than away. When you're going to go down, you go a little further down. See if you can get him to chase. Nose to toes.
Ryan Terrio.
Locked in.
Strike 1. Coming out of the bullpen. A strike throwing machine tonight. Rough sledding for him, as you saw in those first 2 outings. Breaks another one off, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Brandon came to spring training with a chance to compete for the number 5 starter job, but then when he got hurt, they took him out of that competition, and now he comes back as a relief pitcher. Fastball makes it 1-2. His most recent outing was last Thursday against the Rockies, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs in 2 innings, and a 10-3 loss. Was talking about those top draft choices, though, JD. Steven Strasburg, the #1 overall pick of the Washington Nationals today. Quite often that is the furthest thing from a lock in Major League Baseball, having the first pick in the draft. Totally unlike the other sports.
Yeah, it's a much riskier proposition in baseball when you throw a bunch of money at it. I mean, you have to do it. The economics of the game, you say you got to sign those top picks, and the Nationals. It's going to be interesting to see how that thing plays out, because there's talk of Scott Boras was representing Strasburg, demanding $50 million or something crazy like that. And who knows? He may get it.
Strike 3. Terrio caught looking. Backey giving the Astros a lift here. Our Texas Ford Dealers League leaders will show us the Astros first-round picks since 2005. Brian Bogusevic, Max Sapp, who is having more problems this year, almost died in spring training. No first-round pick in 07. Last year was Jordan Miles. And Jason Castro was just promoted. In fact, he might be playing his first game at AA Corpus Christi tonight. Could be tomorrow. Fukudome, the batter. Fastball's fouled away. There's strike 1. So that's a quick rise for Jason Castro. He'll go up to AA already after hitting 300, 305 or so in the early stages of the season for Class A Lancaster. Now, Strasburg is the 14th pitcher, 11th college pitcher to be taken with the overall #1 pick since the draft came in '65. So you would expect with 13 previous picks some excellence there. Rolled into right field for a 2-out single for Fukudome, but there in fact have been no Cy Young awards from any of the previous 13, no 20-win seasons, and no 200-win careers. That's 4 decades.
Some solid guys. We talked about Ben McDonald the other night. Tim Belcher had a real nice major league career. Mike Moore. So I think when you the types of players that go at the top of the draft are typically guys that they have such tremendous upside. Unless they get hurt, they're going to be big leaguers. Now, whether they become superstar big leaguers, nobody really knows for sure. But I'm perusing a list of all the #1 picks here, and it's a pretty safe bet. Most, just a high percentage of the overall #1s end up having pretty solid major league careers, but there certainly are some busts.
Andy Bennis at 155 wins. That's tops among all those pitchers drafted with the #1 overall pick. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it's funny when you look at the history of the draft over the years. Early on, it was a lot more high school players were picked in the top rounds, and now it's almost flip-flop the other way, where it's not exclusively college kids, but a much higher percentage are college guys.
1-1 to Derek Lee. 5-0 Cubs. Smacks that one by the third baseman Keppinger. That one ricochets out and then stops near the line. Carlos Lee has to come in for it, and it's a double for D. Lee. Lee is on for the 3rd straight time. That's his 10th double of the year, getting Fukudome to third base.
Fukudome and Lee combined have been on all 6 times they've come to the plate. Fukudome, of course, reached on an error one of those times, but 2 hits and an error for Fukudome, 2 hits and an intentional walk to Derek Lee. And Milton Bradley's been the soft spot in the Cubs lineup tonight, striking out in the 1st and then an inning-ending double play back in the 2nd.
Two outs, runners at 2nd and 3rd. 10 hits for the Cubs already. Mackey delivers ball 1. The Cubs are 5-2 against the Astros. 4-1 here at Minute Maid Park this season. Cubs are only 16-15 within the division. That's a soft swing by Bradley. Takes the count to 1-1. Didn't get a full cut. Royals and Indians are tied 4-4 in the top of the 7th. Brian Bannister and Cliff Lee were the starters. They're both out of the game now. Miguel Olivo hit home run number 6. Popped up foul. Berkman coming over for the 3rd out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. It's 5-0 Cubs in the 4th.
Astros down by 5 in the bottom of the 4th, and here in attendance at the game tonight is Mattress Mac Jim McInvale. And Jim, 3 weeks this Thursday since the big fire at Gallery Furniture. Probably a little better shape right now than you were in last time I talked to you, which was just 24 hours removed. How are you, and how is your staff faring at this point?
Well, we're doing fine because of the support from the community and all the great Astros fans supporting us at our store at 2411 Post Oak. right across the Galleria. We're opening our new store, the new Gallery Furniture, 6006 North Freeway. Reopens on July 4th, 2009. We can't wait. Look forward to seeing all the fans out there then.
So the old store you're calling the new store, that's the one that's opening July 4th?
July 4th, 6006 North Freeway, reopening the store, redoing the whole thing. It's going to be fantastic. I can invite all the fans to come out. July 4th, 10 a.m. we reopen, and good will triumph over evil.
Well, and, you know, talk a little bit about, and you mentioned it, the support from the community, the fans, you know, from everybody that you got during this time, what that meant to you to help get you through this.
Thousands of letters, emails, calls from all the people all over Houston, and that's what got us through this horrible event. You know, the first week was bad enough, then they determined arson the second week made it even worse. So the support from the fans and from the good Lord, otherwise we couldn't have got through all this.
All right, well, you said you'd be back better, bigger, better, stronger than ever. I didn't think it would be quite this quick, but I guess I should never underestimate everybody there at Gallery Furniture.
7409, we're going to have a big sign up. Our sign's up right now in left field, says Gallery Furniture. Next week we say Gallery Furniture 7409, so we'll see you on July 4th at the new and improved Gallery Furniture, 6006 North Freeway. Thanks for all your support.
All right, thanks, Matt, guys.
Thanks, Patty. 5-0 ball game. Hunter Pence takes a big rip at that one. The count going to 2-2 with Ted Lilly in command, having allowed just one hit and one walk through the first three.
This fruit is really good. Got some good fruit in the press line.
You like fresh fruit.
Yeah, good.
This time of year, it's a wonderful food. Foul back, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carlos Lee on deck. Lance Berkman due up third. Did you get some of that chocolate cake?
I did not. Here's a little bonus trivia for you.
Okay.
There is in uniform tonight a former first overall pick in the Major League Draft.
Deep drive to center field. Cucadome checks Towers Hill, but they will land short of that spot. Round number 1. Aflac trivia time now. Let's see those 2 Astros #1 overall picks since 1965. Phil Nevin and Floyd Bannister.
Nevin in 92, Bannister in 77, I believe. 76, Floyd Bannister. Out of Arizona State.
Yeah. Carlos Lee grounded to third earlier.
Maybe the most cautionary tale is that of Brian Taylor, a pitcher that the Yankees took #1 overall, got hurt in a bar fight. Never made it to the major leagues. Period.
No, he did not. Lee with a foul ball. And then there's Brian Bohannon of Houston. I believe he still lives in Houston. First round pick of the Texas Rangers. And they promoted him straight from high school to the major leagues. 4 balls, 2 strikes on Lee. Some have suggested that.
I didn't know.
Yeah, some have suggested that maybe Steven Strasburg could be the #3 starter for a lot of major league clubs, including the Nationals. But the general manager, Mike Rizzo, said that he has gone through history and doesn't like the track record of pitchers who have been promoted directly to the major leagues after signing. He believes in some minor league time.
Well, I guess a lot will depend on the nature of his contract. If he signs a multi-year major league contract where they're paying him millions of dollars, then you don't worry so much about arbitration, like starting the clock ticking on his arbitration eligibility. And it may be that they find a spot for him in the bullpen initially and then let him grow into that starting role.
Yeah.
Talking with Bobby Heck about him last week, and Bobby thinks that he could pitch in a major league bullpen right now. He doesn't know that his secondary pitches are polished enough where he could be a starter in the big leagues right now, but he says his fastball, not just the velocity. We know the kid throws 100, or on occasion throws 100, but his command apparently is very good too. But it's a different ball of wax when you get into this level. So before we coronate him, let's let him develop a little bit. A lot of high expectations, a lot of pressure on all these guys that are drafted in the first round, but certainly the #1 overall. That's a little something special.
Bobby Heck said of Giovanni Meyer, we thought he was the best baseball player in the draft. We were elated he was still available at 21. Foul ball, Derek Lee coming over. 2 outs. Now it's a matter of signing these picks, and the draft will continue for a couple more days. Myers' older brother Jesse is a catcher in the Dodgers minor league system. He had 394 this season at Bonita High School. 28 hits and 71 at bats. Projected by Baseball America to be a line drive type hitter.
What's Mel Kiper think?
We haven't contacted him yet, but we should. Yeah. He has an opinion, that's for sure. Lance Berkman up the right field line. Milton Bradley comes over. And Bradley reaches back and catches it for the 3rd out. Sending this game to the 5th inning. The score, Cubs 5, Astros nothing. Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by AT&T, by Dodge, by Steel, and by Southwest Airlines. Cubs 5, Astros nothing after 4 here inside Minute Maid Park, where the Astros are still trying to get back to 500. They're 14-17 at home this season. Things did not go well for them at all in a 3-run first. The Cubs tacking on single runs in the 2nd and 3rd. Now Mike Fontenot bats in the 5th. Been a part of the damage with a single and a homer tonight. Strike 1. Back he misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brandon turned 31 on April 5th. Last year he was 9-14 for the Astros with a 6.05 ERA. Native of Galveston. Drafted by Tampa Bay. He was an 18th round pick. Popped up the punch. And out.
Baseball's biggest stars go head to head for one spectacular night. And the summer's biggest event, Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 14th, live from St. Louis at 7, only on Fox.
Giovanni Soto went for the first pitch in each of his first 2 at-bats. RBI single to left, ground ball to second. He takes this one, and it's strike 1. Trying to climb his way out of a very slow start. He's at 209 for the season now. Last year he had 285, 23 homers, 86 driven in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big series between the Phillies and the Mets. The Mets lead at 6-5 in game 1 in the top of the 8th at Citi Field. 2-1. CJ Happ starting for the Phillies. Johan Santana for the Mets. Santana allowed 5 earned runs in 7 innings. Happ 4 earned runs in 5 1/3. Several home runs in that game, including Ryan Howard's 18th. Raul Ibanez hit number 20. Both in the same 4th inning off Santana.
Must be hanging that changeup.
Must be. Saw something about Brad Lidge and right knee problems.
Yeah, he went on the DL. And they called up Paul Bacco. He signed Bacco a while back.
Tejada tries a looping throw from the outfield grass. Infield hit for Soto. Soto 2 for 3.
Giovanni's not going to get many infield hits.
He hit it in a good spot.
He just threw a spotlight over at Miggy.
Did he?
Miggy said, "Why'd you make me run so hard?"
Well, he thought with the catcher running, might have been able to get him.
Sure.
It appeared that he would have an accurate throw.
Guy might blow out his hammy going down the line. Might as well try to make a play.
Andres Blanco with a single and a strikeout. Comes up for the 3rd time. Pitcher Ted Lilly on deck. Mackey delivers ball 1. Brandon Carter, the bullpen, which in the last 14 games has an ERA of 2.08. It really helps when a guy comes out of the bullpen early when needed, like Ortiz, and pitches so well as he did on Sunday. And now Paulino has to miss a start. Ortiz is stretched out. He will step in. 2 balls, no strikes. Jeff Geary through another simulated game tonight. He's about to come back. Kazuo Matsui is heading for Corpus Christi, where he'll begin a 4-game rehab assignment tomorrow night. And he'll rejoin the Astros in Arlington. Jose Valverde heads out tomorrow, and he'll be joining the Astros Saturday in Arizona. 3-0. Cecil Cooper enjoyed that kind of talk in the pregame session with the media.
Nice to get the troops back for Coop, I'm sure. Playing short here for a while, and that's been the nice thing about this little run, winning 6 out of 8, treading water, hanging in there while you're short-staffed. Not the last guy you want to walk in this lineup. He didn't have a lot of pop. No. Well, folks, keep an eye on the Chick-fil-A foul poles. Anytime an Astro player hits one of those Chick-fil-A foul poles, fans from the game can take their ticket stub to any Greater Houston area Chick-fil-A, and you will receive a free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich cooked especially for you. The bonus trivia I threw out there earlier, the player in uniform tonight who was an overall number 1 pick in the draft, Darren Erstad, 1995, by the California Angels out of the University of Nebraska.
Ted Lilly showing bunt. Lance Berkman ready to charge with runners at 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Lilly bunts a foul. There's strike 1. Yeah, Dave Raymond on Astros radio said he did an interview for the pregame show with Darren before the game tonight, asking about the honor of being drafted 1st overall, whether negotiations were hot and heavy before that draft. He said, well, he wasn't really privy to a lot of that stuff, but he just wanted to make $1 more than the guy who was drafted 1st the year before. And he wasn't that much into making a lot more, but he wanted to make $1 more.
That would have been Paul Wilson from the Mets.
Okay. So he did that, but it took 2 months to get a deal. He wanted to go out and play.
Haggling over that last dollar.
So there's a lot of honor being the number 1 overall, but that pressure now will begin. Steven Strasburg, pressure to sign, pressure to play well, then get to the major leagues. No financial pressure, though. He should be very well.
That's up for life.
Yeah. Lilly chops one past the mound. Mason head in, the flip to Berkman. And in effect, even though he doesn't get credited with a sacrifice bunt, he does the same thing. He moves Soto to third and Blanco to second.
And with the infielders coming so hard charging, you pull the bat back and that gets everybody back on their heels. It buys you a little time. It gives you a little room out there. Not only that, if you hit it with a little authority, with everybody moving on that infield, you may end up with a base hit. You see Lance backing up as Lilly pulls the bat back. Sometimes it's easier to do that than it is to get the bunt down.
Soriano opened the game with a double. He's 1 for 3. He's got his breaking pitches working pretty well tonight. There's strike one. Got Soriano on a curveball in the 4th inning, striking him out. Josh Beckett had quite a 6-inning evening for the Red Sox, who lead the Yankees 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Beckett 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs. Throwing 94 pitches, striking out 8. A.J. Burnett is working for the Pinstripers, who are wearing the grays tonight at Fenway. Things did not go well at all for him. Big Papi is coming alive. He hit a 2-run shot. That's his 3rd home run of the season. Big cut by Soriano, 1-2. Statistics really abound, but it was pretty surprising to see a stat on the average distance of Big Papi's fly balls and how they've dropped about 20 feet in the last 3 years.
So he went from light tower power to warning track power, and
yeah. That was a foul away.
Well, I didn't know they. I know they kept numbers on just about anything. I guess I should have assumed they kept numbers on distance of fly balls.
Even we do not realize all the stats that are being kept, JD. Hey, it's nice to see Aaron Boone here, and he'll be traveling back to his home in Arizona when the Astros leave after the Thursday afternoon finale of this series. And looking good. Continuing his workouts. Mike Hampton and Ryan Dempster pitch here at 1:05 Thursday. Tomorrow night it's Wandy Rodriguez and Carlos Zambrano. Big Z hit a homer in his last start. He's 4-2. And Wandy 5-5 now, trying to get headed back in the right direction as he was before the last 3 starts. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Aaron Boone in uniform earlier tonight.
Trying to put some weight back on.
He is paying attention to these games. Be nice to see him get back in uniform before the end of the year. That's not a given. It's 3-2. Soriano. Toronto leads at Texas 5-0. They've played 5. Adam Lynn hit number 12 for the Blue Jays. Rangers have lost Josh Hamilton now for 4 to 6 weeks. Surgery. Soriano gets that one foul.
Got away with a mistake there. They're trying to go off the plate with a breaking ball. They've got a base open. And we've talked a lot about Soriano's eagerness at home plate. Very aggressive swinger. And I think Pudge wanted that pitch off the plate. And Brandon left it over the middle, but got away with it as Soriano fouled it off.
Brian Talent pitching a shutout for the Blue Jays. 5-0. Top of the 6th in Arlington. $11 hits for the Cubs, 1 hit for the Astros. Soriano on appeal. Check his swing. And he takes the walk. That's number 2 for Backey.
You got to have strong wrists just to stop that bat once you get it started. That's a big old warhead he hits with. He's Kind of a lean, long, and strong kind of guy. Very powerful forearms and wrists.
Ryan Terrio's 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's ball 1, and Pudge will go to the mound. Well, Brandon Backey.
Brandon first came into the game, he was really sharp, keeping the fastball down and had real good action on the breaking pitch. Now it's starting to elevate a little bit. Made 41 pitches. He has not had a lot of work since returning to the Astros. Fatigue maybe starting to be a little bit of a factor here.
This will be his 25th pitch of this inning. He's worked an inning and 2/3 so far. Got Bradley with runners at second and third to end the 4th. Now he has all bases occupied here with 2 outs in the 5th. That's a foul ball back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Terrio. The Cubs were only 14th in the National League in runs scored coming into this game tonight, after being first at the end of last season. Been a very tough go for Lou Pinella's club. Widely favored to win this division, but a few weeks ago he said, I'll tell you what, we're beginning to find out that these other teams want to kick your backside. He said, we're not going to be able to go through the motions and think we're going to win games. The quicker that sinks in, the better. 2 balls and 1 strike. They won 2 of 3 in Cincinnati, but 4 of their last 5 games have been extra inning games. So Milwaukee has a 3-game lead over St. Louis. Then it's Chicago and Cincinnati tied for 3rd right now. Cubs have gotten well pitched games from their starters in all 5 on this road trip. In the air, Berkman over into foul territory for the catch, and once again back, he's out of trouble for the 2nd straight inning. No runs, 1 hit, 3 men left, middle of the 5th inning, 5-0 Cubs.
Down by 5 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. The time to introduce our progressive fans of the game, and I've got a nice little section of kids here who, no matter what has been happening, these guys are out here cheering for the Astros, led by Christian Fuller. And Christian, tell us a little bit about your group and what you guys are out here doing today.
We're just out here supporting the Astros. I mean, they may be down, but they can still pull it out. We still have plenty of time.
You're a big fan?
Yes, ma'am. I've been coming here since I was a little boy. Just trying to support the Astros. My favorite player is Lance Berkman.
All right, you play sports yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I play football for Westbury High School. I'm a quarterback. We went to the playoffs, but we're trying to go state this year all the way.
All right, Christian Fuller and his posse are progressive fans of the game. That's for you guys. Enjoy. All right, guys.
All right, thanks, Patty. Pudge Rodriguez batting. The count 1-0. Ted Lilly. It's foul back. Pudge grounded out to third in the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Brewers lead the Rockies 2-0. They've played 6 in Milwaukee. And Braden Looper has a 5-hit shutout through 6. Going up against Jason Hamill. Matt Gamble homer this second. 1-2 with Keppinger and Masonette to follow. Rodriguez trying to get something going for the Astros. They've had only 1 hit, a 2-out double by Hunter Pence in the first inning. The only other base runner, a 1-out walk to Brandon Backey in the third.
It's 5-0. It feels like it's about 10-0.
Yeah.
It's been all Cubs here tonight, but still got plenty of baseball left. Put a couple on the board here, a couple there, and you're right back in it. But they really have had no answer for Ted Lilly so far tonight.
Lilly has made beating Houston a habit. 5 straight wins against the Astros. 97 and 79 in his career. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In addition to picking Steven Strasburg with the first pick of the draft tonight, Washington had the 10th pick and took another right-handed pitcher from college, Drew Storen of Stanford University. 2 of the top 10 picks going to the Nats. Out to the shortstop, Terrio. 1 out. What's on tap with the Astros is brought to you by Bud Light, showing you the rest of the series. Carlos Zambrano and Wandy Rodriguez tomorrow at 6:30 for Astros Live. Zambrano 4-2, Rodriguez 5-5. Then it's Ryan Dempster and Mike Hampton. Thursday 12:30 for Astros Live. Dempster 4-3 with a 3.12 ERA. Hampton 4-4 with a 4.65. Dempster has really been pitching through some personal issues. His ERA 4.12. Just checking that. He had some rough starts earlier this season, but he has a 2-month-old child who's requiring a lot of medical attention, and it's been tough on him going back and forth to home. 1-0 to Keppinger. Keppinger hit a fly ball to center on a 3-2 count. Now 2 balls, no strikes. The Washington Nationals could have taken Aaron Crow. He went 12th to Kansas City, the University of Missouri right-hander, who did not sign after being a first rounder with Washington last year. Balls and a strike.
I'm not sure I concur. Soto didn't do anybody any favors the way he boxed that one.
No. Going deep into center field. Fukudome back. 295 feet. Out number 2.
Maybe that's why Jeff Keppinger's hit better on the road than here at Minute Maid Park. He's not a pull hitter, so it's not like he's taking advantage of the Crawford boxes.
Good point. Get 2 fly balls to center, and that could be a graveyard in this ballpark. Edwin Masonette struck out in the third. Alberto Arias is warming up for the Astros. Backey's on deck. Strike to Masonette. Well, if Masonette gets on, Cecil Cooper could elect to have Brandon Backey bat, but yet not go out to pitch the next inning. No balls, 2 strikes. He still has 5 pinch hitters available on the bench. It's only the 5th inning. He could choose to save all 5 or decide to use one of them next.
Soto had no idea what was coming.
Soriano back in left field. Soto's down on his knees watching the left fielder catch it for out number 3. And it's 8 straight retired by Lilly. Cubs lead at 5-0. Moment away. Time now for our Dodge Draft Live feature. Here's Carlos Lee on what's on his iPod.
I listen to everything. I don't have an iPod. I just keep the music on my computer. That's easy. I don't have to carry that much stuff on me.
He doesn't want that iPod weighting him down. Okabayo in left field as the sixth inning begins for Brandon Backey. Kosuke Fukudome, 2 hits, 2 runs batted in for Fukudome. That one goes deep to right field. Hunter Pence cuts across. Now back. 1 out for Brandon Backey on 1 pitch.
Speaking of Hunter Pence, why don't you check out the all-new Hunter's Lodge and the ticket package presented by Gallery Furniture. For $30, you get a ticket in Hunter's Lodge. It's located in right field. You'll get a one-of-a-kind Hunter Pence t-shirt with a new design coming each month. Plus, you'll be entered into a monthly drawing for an Astros gift. This package is available for every Astros home game. For more information, Astros.com.
There's that Hunter Green. Ball 1 to Derek Lee. That was a perfect night going. RBI single, walk, and a double. That's what they got this month. And next month, it'll be a different gift. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan Moeller, the starter.
Camouflage or something. Or maybe a nice plaid.
Camo would be nice. Are they all shades of green or different colors? We don't know.
Do not know.
Find out next month. Lee takes it. It's 3-0 to Derek Lee. Cubs and Astros are playing 17 times this year, 11 of those prior to the All-Star break. This is the Cubs' final visit to Minute Maid Park. Final 7 games of the year will be played at the friendly confines.
It's weird. The Cubs done coming here on June 9th. The Astros are done going to Pittsburgh. Pretty peculiar within the division to have that be the case.
Yes, it is. Wilson Bradley's 0 for 3. Strikeout, a double play ball, and a foul pop for Bradley.
Yeah, that's an ugly night for a hitter. I mean, you punch out looking, ground into an inning-ending double play, and then pop up foul to the first baseman. He just needs the pop up to the catcher to complete that whole cycle.
Ooh. On a night when his club has 11 hits.
Somebody's got to be the guy. Not everybody's going to make par and not force them. Somebody's going to make a double bogey.
Cubs had a first-round pick late, the 31st pick. Brett Jackson, an outfielder from Cal Berkeley. They had Mark Pryor a few years ago as the first overall pick. Many thought that he would be the best guy drafted first among pitchers. He was going along very well until he had arm miseries. Still trying to work his way back now. Tigers 3, White Sox 3. They're in the middle of the 6th inning at Chicago. Dontrell Willis pitching against Mark Burley. Those 2 managers were interesting after they split the doubleheader against each other last night. Brandon Inge hit his 13th homer. Foul back.
What happened there?
Ozzie had a tirade. Just talking about, well, back in the 1980s, if you hit 230 and couldn't advance runners and couldn't get a bunt down, you weren't a major leaguer.
Wow. Was he referring to anybody in particular, or just his whole club? He just taking everybody on?
A lot of people inferred that it was Alexi Ramirez because he did those things last night, but there probably were other candidates as well in his club. And Jim Leland was eating his meal as he did his interview. He was very displeased with his ball club performance as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Coop just had a day off. He got to hang out and relax.
Yeah, he said he didn't do much of anything. That was the way he enjoys it. Day off in baseball. Whoa, Bradley smashes the bat down and shatters it.
Oh, he's having a tough night. A couple of his previous at-bats, I thought he looked like he was ready to snap. And he comes up empty here, and bam!
That's some snappage. It's the Coors Light 6th inning. We check out the Frost Brewed Coors Light freeze cam showing you Mike Fontenot letting that ball get in deep and taking it out to the Landry's Crawford boxes. Home run number 6 of the year for Fontenot in the 3rd inning. That made it 5-0. He comes up for the 4th time. And here's ball 1. Now Bradley has thrown a few tantrums. He's gotten in trouble in the past. He's gone to anger management courses. He's had a few dust-ups this year already. Line into right field by Fontenot. Derek Lee advancing on the 2-out single. Fontenot's 3rd hit of the night.
Well, there's been base runners, at least 2 in all 3 innings that Brandon has worked, but so far he's kept the Cubs off the board.
Cubs have stranded 9 runners tonight. Giovanni Soto is 2 for 3. Fukudome 2 hits. Lee 2. Fontenot 3. Soto 2. A dozen hits for the Cubs. They are hitting .231 as a team with men in scoring position this year. And there's strike 1. So it's just not clicking offensively for their club. Their pitching has really been getting it done. In the month of June, they have a 1.62 staff ERA.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of folks picked them to win this division. They do have a good lineup, and they performed very well last year, but it was their starting pitching that, at least in my mind, put them ahead of the class in the Central.
Yeah. 0-2 the count. They've had some difficulties too in that rotation this year, but nonetheless they really stack up well on any given night with their starting pitchers. And Randy Wells has been the best, but he can't get a win. In fact, reading a story today in one of the Chicago papers talking about the Cubs and the draft. And we mentioned they took the college outfielder Brett Jackson. The story said in the last decade, the best position player the Cubs drafted was probably Randy Wells, who was converted from catcher to pitcher.
Best position player at the time of the draft.
Yeah. 2-2. They've done pretty well with pitching. The Astros taking Tanner. How would you pronounce that last name? That's good. That's a good way to say it. That's her 2nd pick.
Right-handed pitcher Tanner. I don't know.
Bouchou, maybe. 2nd-round choice. Line drive left field. Derek Lee comes to 3rd, gets a stop sign for Mike Quaddy, and the bases are loaded on a single for Soto, his 3rd hit. Backey has been bending but not breaking tonight.
Yeah, the Cubs, we talked about it at the start of the inning. It feels like a much wider margin than 5-0 because they've had so many base runners, and the Astros have just had a couple. That's the 3rd time in this game where the Cubs have been one swing away from really blowing it wide open.
Andres Blanco singled, but then on that play, Fontenot was thrown out at the plate to end the top of the 1st. Then he struck out and he walked. 5 runs, 13 hits for the Cubs. They've had hits in every inning. That's a bullet headed for the right field corner. It bounces and kicks out of play for a double, scoring 2 to make it 7-0. Blanco gets his 2nd and 3rd runs batted in. Hit number 2 of the night for him. It's his 3rd double.
Well, Blanco went up there hacking this time. Got a pitch to his liking, inner 3rd and up a little bit, and just buggy whipped it.
That was the 62nd pitch for Backey. Drew Robinson has gone out to the mound. 3 doubles for Blanco. Pitcher spot due up next. Ted Lilly's waiting to get in the box. The Cubs tonight are going against the grain for them. They're 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position in this game. They had a miserable day of it on Sunday with men in scoring position. They won the game, but it took them 14 innings, 5 hours and 13 minutes to beat the Reds. Now Ted Lilly batting with runners at second and third. He had a triple. Since then he struck out and grounded out. And it's ball one. The Cubs had the biggest scoring margin last year over their opponents in the majors, 184 runs.
What is it with Lilly when he comes to town?
Not sure about
score
that.
a bunch of runs for him. They scored a bunch for him in that first start here.
Yeah, he won that one over Moeller 11-6. He gave up 4 homers and still won the game. Pretty unusual. 2 balls and a strike. Lilly might in fact wind up being the Cubs' only All-Star this year after they had 8 last season. Arias warming up for Houston. Johan Santana regrouped and beat the Phillies 6-5. Lilly fouls it away. It's 2-2. Santana going to 8-3. Beating Clay Condre, who's 4-1. K-Rod got his 16th save. The Phillies hit 4 homers and lost the game. The Mets had 3. David Wright, Carlos Beltran, and Ryan Church from New York. Howard, Ibanez, Rollins, and Utley for the losing Phillies. Bounced up the first base line and foul.
Yeah, it's pretty much their Mount Rushmore. Right there, Howard, Rollins, Utley, and Ibanez. And David Wright going deep. He's been hitting for a high average, but hasn't been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. What's that? This number 4 or 5 for him, I think.
That was number 4, right? So it's a 2-game lead now for the Phillies over the second-place Mets in the NL East. Rack out looking. And the Cubs have had their lead with 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 left in the 6th inning. It's 7-0 Chicago. An Action Foundation tomorrow night by presenting 10 once-in-a-lifetime Astros experiences for auction during the game. Go to astros.com/community to find out more details on the bidding items. Proceeds from the auction will benefit Boys and Girls Clubs of Houston and Astros Urban Academy. And that starts with a pregame show tomorrow night. with a look at all those items at 6:30. Matt Cata's pinch hitting here for Brandon Backey and fouling it for strike one. Cata 0 for 4 since joining the Astros, but as a base runner, he had an impact on the game, scoring a 7th inning run Sunday. The Astros winning that one 6-4, and he came home from second on an infield hit by Miguel Tejada. Fouls that one back.
Make the play. Right next door, just over by Bob Brenly in the visiting GM's booth.
Brandon Backey leaving after 3 innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 68 pitches. So Moeller went the first 3, then Backey, and Arias has been warming up in the bullpen with a 1-2 count on Cata. This will be Alberto's first action since getting conked in the head while playing catch a few days ago when the sun got him in the eyes. Fouled away by Cata. Giants 1, Diamondbacks 1, bottom of the 2nd in Arizona. Matt Cain versus Billy Buckner. Juan Uribe hit his first home run for the Giants. Mark Reynolds belted number 15 for the D-backs. He hit the game winner Sunday in extra innings off a position player for the Padres.
Yeah, that game went 18 innings.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Josh Wilson, a shortstop, gave up the game-winning home run. He was the 11th pitcher, I believe, used by the Padres in that game. That's a long day at the office.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a getaway day. They played yesterday as well.
Yeah. Billy throws ball 3, and it's a full count now. Texting in the stands. Foul back.
Probably sending Greg a tweet.
It's become the new favorite activity of a lot of folks. He tweets all throughout the game. He's had extra tweeting tonight with the draft. Fouled away. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll have a shot of a player out there texting, tweeting all his fans. I'm going to go play a step to pull.
And then we'll have a shot of a player getting a text that he's fine for texting during the game. Cincinnati 3, Washington 1, top of the 5th at Washington. Pulled foul by Cata. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's come up from Round Rock as a utility guy with the injury to Matsui. 233 is his career average as a pinch hitter in the majors for 60 at bats. His last time in the big leagues was with the Pirates in 07. Fouls that one back off the top of the screen and makes Lilly throw another pitch at 3-2. Pitches in this at bat for Matt Cata. Derek Lowe in Atlanta knocked off the Pirates 4-3, beating Sean Burnett. Rafael Soriano got his 5th save. Broken bat. Ontario. 1 out in the 6th. Here's the Chivas Regal replay. Michael Bourne with the outfield assist, his 4th of the year, to win the Cubs' first inning on a hit up the middle by Blanco. Bourne takes it on a hop, gets it to Pudge Rodriguez, who makes the tag on Fontenot for the 3rd out of that inning. Pudge getting down low, that throw skipped on him, took 2 hops, went down on a knee to make the tag.
Out in front of home plate, giving the base run to the back corner of home plate to slide toward. If you stay in the baseline, you're just going to get smoked. Quickly dropping down to handle that 2-hopper and apply the tag. It's about the only highlight for the Astros tonight.
Flared into center field. Dome further than it looked like it would. 2 outs. The Jack in the Box standings feature Miguel Tejada's Major League Baseball ranks. Second in batting average in the majors, leading in the National League. First in hits in the majors, tied for first in multi-hit games and doubles.
Who's leading the majors? Bartlett?
Probably.
Jason Bartlett, he's hurt, but I think he still qualifies. He was hitting 370 something. Joe Mauer, I believe, is still up above 400, but he does not have enough plate appearances to qualify.
Ichiro, 356.
Ichiro. He's a pretty good hitter, too.
Tejada's 0 for 2 tonight. There's a hit for him.
Take that, Ichiro.
81st hit of the year for Miggy. Hit number 2 for the Astros. The first one came from Hunter Pence with 2 outs in the first.
Two-out base hit here. Hunter can drive him home.
$14 hits for the Cubs, 2 for the Astros. Chicago is stranded 11. Houston has left 2. Pence doubled to left in the first, hit a fly ball to center in the fourth. That goes out of play for strike 1. The Astros are leading all major league clubs since May 1st in batting average, 294. That might surprise some folks. Tejada has 2 hits more than Aaron Hill of Toronto. Victor Martinez. Carl Crawford is leading the world in steals. And Ichiro. One ball, 1 strike.
Well, the Astros hitting 275 as a team overall this year. That's good for 3rd in the National League. That batting average can be a hollow statistic. They are 13th in the league in runs scored.
Yeah, it is a hollow statistic when you put it that way. It really is. Batting average doesn't tell you a whole lot. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now let's check OPS, on base plus slugging. The Astros are well, they're 6th.
Yeah,
which, not too bad.
The numbers don't really add up. They're 4th in slugging and 5th in on base average in the National League, and yet they're 13th in runs scored.
Just keep missing home plate.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, that's a tough one to kind of wrap your brain around.
Well, they're 11th in homers. We have to go back and check how many 3-run homers there have been, but it doesn't seem like very many have been hit by the Astros this year. For instance, they had matched the Cubs in homers in the season series, each hitting 11 in 7 games coming into this one. The Cubs had won 5 of the 7. Not all about home runs, certainly. Lilly gets a strikeout to win the 6th inning. That's number 4 for him, and it's no runs a hit, and the man left. Through 6, 7-0 Cubs. On Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, by TxDOT, Click It or Ticket, and by Whataburger. The Cubs have pulled out in front 7-0 after 6 here in downtown Houston in game 1 of a 3-game series. This Astros call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, bringing in Alberto Arias. It'll be his first appearance in a week. He had to miss a couple of days as far as being eligible to pitch after the sun got him in the eyes as he was playing catch with Wandy Rodriguez. He was hit in the head and went down during 3-game warm-ups. So he has no wins or losses, a 3.97 ERA, and fortunately no more headache as he comes in for the 7th inning. Soriano batting. Soriano hits it to shortstop. Tejada. Rod number 1 for Arias. Arias with his 13th appearance for the Astros this year. He walked 6, ran 13. Batting average against him is only .209.
The Cubs have had a base runner in every inning so far. Arias off to a good start, getting Soriano in a hurry.
Terrio is 0 for 3 with a walk. Strike 1 for Arias. He's had 6 career appearances against the Cubs and has allowed 1 earned run in 7 innings against them. 4 of those have come this year. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's the way it breaks down for Chicago tonight.
Look at that bottom of the order. Fontenot down, including Lilly. A lot of damage.
1 ball, 1 strike. They do have an outstanding lineup. Pinella would love to have a lot more games like this. Joe Perry's the hitting coach of the Cubs.
Paul Nauert. That's an umpire's balk right there. He wanted to ring him up. He started to twitch.
Umpire's ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, right arm started to lift up.
Yeah.
Nope, not going to call it.
Broken bat roller. Arias there hands it. Goes low to Berkman, who takes it for out number 2.
Alberto flying off that mound.
Yes, he was.
Two-seam fastball runs right in on his hand, shatters the bat. A weak little ground ball, but Terrio thinks maybe an infield hit. Arias cat-like coming off the bump. And then the key there is just get under control as you pick it up and get in a good position to make the throw.
Fukudome's next. He has 2 hits tonight, 2 runs batted in. There's strike 1 to him. Angels beat the Rays 4-3. Game in St. Petersburg tonight. Jared Weaver going to 6-2 with a victory, and Brian Fuentes got save number 16. The loss went to James Shields. He's now 5-5. Ben Zobrist hit his 12th home run. Wow. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He had that kind of pop.
I didn't need it. Giving him 35 runs. A lot of talk about Yankee Stadium and all the home runs it has surrendered this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tim Kirkchin was saying in one of his reports today that he thinks there will be some measures taken to Yankee Stadium to try to make that a more fair ballpark. It's somewhat embarrassing for this new ballpark. All the attention and all the money spent on it to be yielding home runs at such a record pace. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They could put some kind of a wind shield. That would be one option on top of the stadium. The Rangers did that in Arlington, blocked the wind and cut down on some of those wind-aided long balls. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
They could reduce the Yankees payroll by $100 million, take out some of those sluggers.
They could do that. That would help the problem. They could get some better pitching. Check swing at third. Joe West said he held up, and Fukudome draws a 2-out walk.
So we were trying to analyze the Astros' offensive woes there last year.
Yeah.
And just looking at some numbers. We talked earlier about Fukudome, how patient he is, walking the walk. Their stolen base percentage is 62%. That's not good.
No.
They've grounded him to second most double plays in the league, and they're still down near the bottom of the league in walks. So that coupled with you said they're 11th in the league in home runs.
Yes.
So that's all contributing factors.
Well, they're certainly better than they were in April, but nonetheless falling short of where they would like to be offensively at this point. They're averaging 4.29 runs per game. That's pretty low to try to have a winning season in the major leagues. You have to really pitch well to be able to overcome that lack of offense. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mark DeRosa hit a grand slam tonight for the Indians. They won over the Royals 8-4 at Cleveland. 1-2. Frequently his name crops up in the Cubs' woes that they don't have him anymore.
Yeah, he was a valuable piece for them. Could play a lot of different positions. Good offensive player.
Could have filled in at third for the injured Aramis Ramirez. He could fill in anywhere. Swing and a miss by Lee, and that's a strikeout to end the top of the 7th. With no runs, no hits, and a man stranded, it's 7-0 Cubs. Muller, the Astros starter, in 3 innings, allowed 5 earned runs on 8 hits. Cubs have 6 extra base hits tonight. Lily's looking to go 6-1 against Houston. The base runners, Cubs 21, Astros 3.
Woo. They're killing us in time of possession.
29,669 paid to see this game. Carlos Lee leads it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fans have been up stretching. Lee is 0 for 2. Grounded to third, a foul out to first. Ball 1 for Ted Lilly. Lilly had retired 10 in a row until the Tejada 2-out single in the 6th. He has a 2-hitter through 6. Cubs about hit the Astros 14-2 tonight.
Lulling them into a false sense of security, Brownie.
Well, the Cubs bullpen has been rocky this year. That's what you mean. 2 balls, no strikes.
No, I'm just trying to convince people to keep watching.
Okay. 2 balls and a strike. Wandy Rodriguez goes tomorrow night against Carlos Zambrano.
Mattress Mac down there behind home plate. He's not giving up.
No, not a give up kind of guy. It's 3-1.
With Drayton just a couple of people over. That's a whole lot of optimism crowded together down there behind home plate.
You bet it is. Three and 2 to Carlos Lee. So 28 career long balls against the Cubs. Cincinnati leads at Washington 3-1. They've played 5. Elijah Dukes hit home run number 6 for the Nationals. Soriano's in left field. He jumps to catch that one. 1 out.
You talked earlier about the little hitch that Lilly has in his delivery. It's very difficult for hitters to time him. The tendency to get started too soon as a hitter against Lilly because he has a little kind of hitch, hesitation, and then go. And I think you see it a lot in this case here with Carlos, just out on that front foot a little bit, just out in front. Hard to stay back.
Tonight's Firestone box score showing you the Astros hitters and the breakdown on them. Lance Berkman is 0 for 2. A turn, a little hesitation. Foul ball back, strike 1 to Berkman. And Cecil Cooper was talking about something tonight regarding Wandy Rodriguez. Is he tipping his pitches or not? He said, well, we're not sure, but there's a lot of familiarity within the division. And the Pirates, of course, have seen a lot of him. And we wondered if maybe they might have picked up something. 1 ball, 1 strike. You play a team 17, 18, 19 times a year. A pitcher may start 4 or 5 times against that one club. So it's conceivable that after all those looks, somebody could pick up something that would allow them to think he's tipping.
Absolutely.
And yet, the credit goes to somebody like Ted Lilly after about the same number of appearances that another pitcher might make, that he has stayed very, very capable and performed well throughout all those games he's had.
And so it's not just tipping pitches, but also you can use certain patterns, and obviously the hitters see your stuff. They know what your stuff looks like, and that's why the Oswalt versus the Red story is so intriguing. There's Lance. Breakdown the pitches he's really struggled against.
Looks like you were right that this is his toughest pitcher to face. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lance has had difficulty against other Cubs pitchers too. He's a .243 lifetime hitter against Chicago. Lilly, 101 pitches, 65 of them strikes. Cubs are not his favorite club to face, and they have a good pitching staff. Wrigley Field has been difficult for Lance over the years. Still 3 and 2. Lilly was drafted in the 23rd round in '96 by the Dodgers. Bullet foul. Lined up to the rows of seats. Mike Rizzo, the general manager of Washington, was talking about Arizona. He was with the Diamondbacks, drafting an ace in the 8th round. Brandon Webb. A carom shot. Not only the first round draft choices that will be dominant pitchers in the big leagues. Up the middle and on through into left center field for a solid single for Lance Berkman. Well, number 3 for the Astros.
Well, Mike Piazza will be enshrined in Cooperstown in fairly short order, and he was a 64th round draft pick.
Yeah,
Piazza about 3 years away from eligibility.
Yeah. You're right, and that was kind of a favor to Tommy Lasorda that he was even drafted at all. 2 years ago. 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 on. Lily talked to Soto. That'll be Pudge Rodriguez. He's bounced out both times tonight. Jason Castro on the move to Double-A. He's 21 years old. So that's good progress for last year's Astros first-round choice. Aaron Heilman's warming up for the Cubs right now. Castro had 20 doubles and 7 homers in 207 at-bats while hitting .309 for Lancaster in 56 games. That is an outrageous hitter's ballpark at Lancaster.
He'll go to Double-A, be the primary catcher there. Kobe Clemens will start to get more starts behind the plate in Lancaster. But yeah, the Astros said all along with Castro, they wanted to fast track him. Real mature kid. Feel like he can handle the position.
Depending on how things go, it wouldn't be all that shocking if he happened to be a September call-up this year.
I would think he would be a September call-up.
Back, it's 1-1. Pudge Rodriguez wants to catch 2 or 3 more years, he says.
Didn't they talk last year when they drafted Castro, or shortly thereafter, that 2010 was a legitimate target for him?
Yes, they did. That would be really quick. Matt Wieters of Baltimore. He's had only 1 year plus of minor league ball. He was just called up several days ago by the Orioles. 1-2 the count. Bobby Heck had said that if he had a shot at a catcher in the first round, he might pass because Castro has done so well. And he just wanted to go for depth in the Astros organization again this year, as he did last year in the draft. Fly ball. Super Dome. 2 outs. Now it's Keppinger.
They'll draft 50 rounds. When all is said and done to this thing. NBA does too, right?
I think so. That's a lot of talent to keep track of. Wow. 50 rounds. Keppinger has 2 fly balls to center field. Strasburg, the #1 choice of the Nationals. Now Lou Pinella's coming out. Had a 13-1 record and a 1.32 ERA. Struck out 195 and 109 innings. So a lot of people will be watching him.
Played for Tony Gwynn at San Diego State. So obviously he's got a lot of good information. Gets ready to embark on his professional career.
Lilly has talked his way into another batter at least. Who made the stroll. 109 pitches, and that is a high for Lilly this season. Previous high was 104. With those excellent numbers for Ted.
We just want to go for a little stroll and stretch the legs a little bit. Lou Piniella, not only a great baseball player, he was an outstanding high school basketball player.
Was he?
Yeah, he was actually had a chance to, or this was recruited by Louisville, play college basketball.
Ball 1 to Keppinger. Forward.
Yeah, kind of like a swing man. He could jump out of the gym. He could really shoot.
Berkman not being held by D. Lee. Two 2-0. Tim Burdock warming up for the Astros. The cover boy on Sports Illustrated last week might be the first player drafted next year. Bryce Harper, 16 years old, from Las Vegas, a catcher. And they might find a way to make him eligible for the draft next year. How could they do that? He's only a sophomore in high school. Well, he could pass his GED and get into a junior college and then become eligible for the draft next year.
Well, what about the prom?
And he's one kid who comes right out and says, I want to be in the Hall of Fame. It's my goal. 3 balls and a strike. Not just, I want to be a good major league player. I want to be a Hall of Fame.
I want to be the best ever, I think. One quote.
Yeah,
I think you're right. That's okay.
Sure.
to say, I want to be the best. Now, if the guy says, I will be the best ever, then I'm like, you have to check yourself, son. There's a lot of work to be done between now and then, but apparently just an unbelievably gifted player.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Berkman ready to move. Keppinger takes a walk, so that could be it for Lilly. With Masonette in the on-deck circle, but Lou Piniella will make a move here to the bullpen. And we'll see if the left-handed hitter will come up. Pinch hit for Masonette. Astros down 7-0 and running out of outs. Just 7 outs remaining for them in this game. We'll be back in just a moment. With the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Aaron Heilman comes out of the Cubs bullpen. Cubs leading 7-0. He's 2-3 with a 4.68 ERA. He'll be facing Edwin Masonette with Darren Erstad on deck to pinch hit for Arias.
Heilman on for the 27th time. Very good early, and then hit a bit of a bumpy patch. 7.71 ERA in his last 15 ball games.
Masonette 0 for 2, strikeout, a fly ball. There's strike 1 from Heilman. Heilman was a first-round pick from Notre Dame. He was the 18th player drafted in the 01 draft. Born in Logansport, Indiana. He inherits 2 base runners. He deals a strike, and quickly Masonette falls behind 0-2.
Fastball, slider, changeup for Heilman.
Jason Waddell is warming up now for the Cubs. A strikeout of Masonette ends the Astros 7th inning. No runs, a hit. 2 men stranded after 7. Cubs 7, Astros nothing. Top of the 8th inning. Winston Bradley leads it off against Alberto Arias. Bradley is 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts and a double play ball included. And it's ball 1 for Arias. Fontenot and Soto to follow. Cubs have 14 hits to the Astros 3. Chicago is stranded 12 to Houston's 5 left on base. It's 2 balls, no strikes. In the 3rd round, the Astros drafted Telvin Nash, a left fielder from Griffin, Georgia High School. Their 100th pick overall.
Fertile baseball territory there. There's 3 high school players. First 3 picks for the Astros.
2 balls, 1 strike. Get them early and train them in your system. That's the theory behind drafting a high school guy compared to a college guy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There usually is more upside with many high school players than college players. A little bit more of a risk sometimes. Lilly threw 114 pitches, 73 were strikes. It's 3-2, but you really can't generalize each case as an individual case. Telvin Nash is 6'1" and 230.
Big enough to go to work.
Foul ball, and that one ripped through Pudge. Can't tell if it caught him in the right arm or where it was, but he's up and walking around. Caught more innings than any other major league catcher. It's just been amazing, his durability. Tremendous work ethic, all the extra workouts he's put in, his approach to playing every day has been phenomenal over the years. He made his debut with the other Pudge, Carlton Fisk, catcher. Keppinger over to foul ground. Loves that one. 1 out for Arias.
Milton Bradley's big night continues.
Ooh.
How about MLB.TV? The ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer. Catch those you missed on demand. You have to get a new computer, Brownie, so you can check out MLB.TV. You can find it at Astros.com.
Well, that's good. The big switch is coming tomorrow, JD. When they tell you your board is about to crash, it's time to move on. Fontenot takes a strike. He is 3 for 4, including a home run. Has scored twice.
Back up all your data.
Yeah, that's a must. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitching duel in Florida. Went to Florida over St. Louis 4-3. The game-winning homer in the 9th, leading off from Jeremy Hermida off Jason Mott. 2 balls and a strike. Chris Carpenter started for the Cardinals. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. And starter Josh Johnson for the Marlins gave up 3 runs in 7 innings. Matt Lindstrom was the winner. And the Marlins took it on the Hermida home run.
Redbirds just got swept in 4 games set by the Rockies, so they're spinning a little bit.
Yeah, they are. 3 balls and a strike.
The Angels.
Another pinch back. This one hit well into right center. One hops the wall. Fontenot with his 4th hit of the night. Checks in with a double this time. Homer, a double and 2 singles for Fontenot.
The home run was to left field. This time he gets a head out in front of a 3-1 fastball. That's what we were talking about earlier. You get a 3-1 count. You're sitting dead red. That's when you want to take that good aggressive swing. What was I here? Looking at the draft. The Angels in the 1st round took Randall Grichuk from Lamar Consolidated here in Rosenberg.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations to Randall. Imagine there's a celebration going on out in Rosenberg right now.
Yeah, outfielder with the 24th pick. Giovanni Soto is 3 for 4. Started the night at 204. He's up to 220 with this game. He's down a little bit with this fly ball to right field. Hunter Pence in. 2 outs.
find any other local kids here. We mentioned the Perk kid, Matthew Perk from Klein High School. He went number 14 overall to the Rangers.
His coach has had a few other major league players, and he thought that Perk was very advanced. So there's another one to follow from Houston. David Murphy. Blanco is 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in and a walk.
But Alex Wilson, right-handed pitcher from A&M, at number 77 with the Red Sox, second round.
Strike to Blanco. And St. Louis lost to Florida. Went against the grain for the Cardinals. They had won 15 of the last 20 from Florida. They've lost 5 in a row now, as JD mentioned. They've been outscored by a whopping margin. Big cut by Blanco. 0-2. So the Cubs, with their 7-0 lead, are looking up. And they're seeing that the Cardinals, who are in front of them, have lost. Milwaukee is losing 3-2 to Colorado. Milwaukee batting in the bottom of the 9th inning with Houston Street on the mound. So a chance that the Cubs could gain on both of those two teams, or whoever wins this game. Make it even tighter in the NL Central. Up the middle, Tejada to his left. Throwing to Berkman to get Blanco. No runs a hit, and the man stranded. 7-0 Cubs in the 8th. Stay tuned after the game for Astros Live, presented by MD Anderson with Kevin Eschenfelder and Dave Harbison tonight. They'll wrap everything up for you on a busy night. Cubs winning here 7-0, but there's action on other fronts with the Astros draft choices and other happenings around baseball. Looking ahead as well. So stay tuned after the game for Astros Live for all those stories. Darren Erstad will be the pinch hitter now for the pitcher, Alberto Arias, leading off the home 8th inning. Arias in 2 innings, allowing 1 hit, no runs. He had 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Erstad takes, and there's strike 1 for Aaron Heilman. Darren at 135 has no homers. He's driven in 3. And quickly it's no balls, 2 strikes to Darren. He's had 52 at bats with 7 hits. As a pinch hitter, he's 4 for 24, and he's driven in 3. Michael Bourne on deck. Miguel Tejada due up 3rd in the home 8th inning. Bouncer first. Derek Lee there. 1 out. Ted Lilly in 6 2/3 innings held the Astros to 3 hits, no runs. He had 2 walks, struck out 4. It's in line for win number 7 of the season. Jonathan Meyer, a 3rd baseman, another high school pick from Simi Valley in California. Pick number 111. draft for the Astros. So far, all high school picks. Michael Bourne is 0 for 3. Looking at ball one. And it's 2-0 for Aaron Heilman. Jonathan Meyer, 6'1", 195, third baseman and catcher. Josh Beckett and Boston beat the Yankees 7-0. Beckett going to 7-2. A.J. Burnett, the loser, 4-3. David Ortiz at number 3. Nick Green, number 2 for the Red Sox. Ryan Talent in Toronto shut out Texas in Texas. That's quite an achievement. Talent going to 4-3. That hitter's ballpark. 3-1 the count. Aaron Hill hit his 14th long ball. Mike Mathis lost it for the Rangers.
Without Josh Hamilton for 4 to 6 weeks. The abdominal surgery he had today.
Well, that was better news than the alternative, which was a more difficult type of surgery they feared and kept him out longer. Foul ball. It's born in there at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Red Sox now have beaten the Yankees 7 straight times. Beckett has a hot hand going. He's given up just 1 earned run over his last 29 innings now. Bourne strikes out. That's the 3rd time he's punched out tonight.
A tough night all the way around for the Astros, managing just 3 hits. Behind early. Cubs managed to play add on. They've had base runners on all night long. The Astros have had very little going their way. That was one side of the game as you're going to see in terms of one team scoring and all the chances they've had, and the other team just getting nothing done. Astros are 2-4 so far this year, playing after a day off.
Tejada takes strike 1. You know, Astros managers have been talking about that for years. Club not playing well after a day off.
Yeah, that's why I looked. I looked by day on our schedule.
Tejada has hit number 2 of the night.
But my hunch is that there's a lot of teams in Major League Baseball where the manager says that.
Exactly.
You go out and you play a game, you don't swing it well or whatever, and you kind of look for reasons. If you have the day off the day before, you go, oh, see, I had the day off yesterday.
Yep. Tejada was 0 for 2, and now in the 6th and 8th inning, he has singled. So another fine night for Miggy. Came into the night hitting .354 and led the league in batting average. Hunter Pence is 1 for 3. That's a high one on the left side. Terrio on the outfield grass. Ends the 8th inning with no runs a hit and a man stranded. 7-0 Cubs. Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by your Texas Ford dealers, by Texaco with Techron, by Progressive Insurance Group, and by Bud Light. Tim Burdock comes out of the bullpen for Houston. The Cubs are batting soon in the top of the 9th inning, and they will send Jake Fox to the plate to pinch hit for the pitcher, Aaron Heilman. Those ladies are not going anywhere. Where are they? Upper deck? Can't tell.
If they are, move on down. There's plenty of seats available in the lower level. A lot of folks have gone home.
Yeah. There they are. Tim Burdock is pitcher number 4 for the Astros. He comes in for the night. Lefties 12 for 40 against him. Right-handers 4 for 37, and Jake Fox is a right-handed batter.
He'll get Fox, and he'll get Soriano and Terrio here. Fox kid has come up from the minor leagues and swung it well. He's only had 11 at bats, but he's 4 for 5 as a pinch hitter.
Certainly noteworthy. Chad Fox was with the Cubs earlier this season. He got hurt. Jake Fox is 26 years old from Beech Grove, Indiana. 3rd round pick in '03. A catcher earlier in his career. Now he's more of a corner outfield type. And a first baseman, but with Derek Lee blocking his way, does not figure to get too much playing time. He went to the University of Michigan, where he was first team All Big Ten. And has spent 5 years in the minor leagues.
He played with Nate McLeod.
Might have.
He's a Michigan guy.
Yeah. Derek Lee has entrenched himself at first. Sean Marshall warming up at the Cub bullpen, a left-hander. Fox with a 2-1 count. He figures to be the type of guy who will be a pinch hitter and maybe get some occasional playing time, but with the outfielders the Cubs have, that would seem to be highly occasional. That's a good swing of the bat. Rams it into left center field and heads for a pinch double. Jake Fox continues to come off the bench and deliver for Lou Piniella.
It's supposed to be a hard job. He's making it look easy.
It really is.
Lifetime .285 hitter in the minor leagues with 105 bombs. It's just under 600 minor league games, so he's got some sock.
That's hit number 16 for the Cubs. They have 7 extra base hits, and now Fox on with a double for Soriano. Soriano has one of those doubles. 6 doubles, a triple, and a homer in this game for the Cubs. Soriano takes a look at it, and it's ball 1. That's 8 extra base hits for Chicago. It's 2 balls, no strikes. The Rockies beat the Brewers 3-2 in Milwaukee. Jason Hamill going to 3-3 with that win. Todd Coffey took the loss. Braden Looper had pitched well as the starter. Houston Street got his 10th save.
Jeez.
All the way, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The Cubs 16 hits, ties their season high, and they had 16 here April 8th as well. They are loving hitting in Minute Maid Park this season, and they're 4-1 here.
Astros won the season series from the Cubs last year 9-8. But the turnaround this year, that's kind of ironic because the Cubs were so darn good last year and they've been fairly mediocre this season.
Broken bat flying as Michael Bourne makes the catch. One out as Soriano's retired. There's a piece of that big lumber out there. Well, that's sheared.
That's fun for a pitcher.
Got it.
That's a trophy right there. You don't get to keep it, but you enjoy watching it. More fun than a punch out. Breaking a guy's bat.
Just snapped it off in his hands. I can't use it anymore. And it's Terrio batting. Terrio looks at ball one. He does not have a hit tonight. He's 0 for 4 with a walk. He and Milton Bradley are the two starters without hits for the Cubs. Bouncer, Edwin Masonette to his right. Goes to Berkman. 2 outs. Fox to third base. Fukudome, 2 hits, 2 runs batted in tonight.
Probably not too many 0 for 5s on Ryan Terrio's game-by-game log this year.
Yeah,
he makes so much contact.
He does. 291 average at game time. White Sox are batting in the bottom of the ninth, trailing Detroit 6-3. Ball one. Join us tomorrow night at 6:30 on Astros Live. And you can bid on those auction items. We understand that you could get a mystery grab bag for $100. It's guaranteed to be worth about $300 in autographed items. You don't know what you're going to get until you open it up. 2 balls and no strikes. San Francisco 5, Arizona 4. They're in the bottom of the 5th now. Juan Uribe's been playing third. Pedro Sandoval moved to first base because his wrist had been bothering him on throws. And both of them have homered tonight. 2 balls and a strike. The Giants will take a lot more of that home run power. They pitch well, but they really have to scratch for runs.
A lot of home runs. Of course, tough ballpark that they play in.
Yes, it is. 3-1.
They're an intriguing team. They don't have a lot of firepower except for on the mound. They've got some great arms.
They're 2 games over 500, 8.5 behind the Dodgers.
Hey, look, it's the bird's nest.
Haven't seen that one. Is that brand new tonight? Bird's nest. Where's he nesting? On the right field side?
Let's be up over here.
Oh, yeah. Way up there in the corner. That's a walk to Fukudome. 6th walk for Astros pitchers tonight. Derek Lee has drawn 2 of those walks. He also has a couple of hits, an RBI, and has scored twice. Dodgers are leading San Diego 3-2 in Los Angeles at the end of 3. They have 2 home runs from Andre Ethier. Give him 11.
Yeah, he's been hot.
He has been. Back-to-back game-winning hits over the weekend. 1-0 to D. Lee. Derek takes a look at a strike. 3-1. Looks as if the big gainers in the NL Central tonight will be the Cubs and Cincinnati. Cincinnati continuing to lead at Washington 3-1. They've played 7. If both of them win, they will both be 2.5 back of Milwaukee. St. Louis also 2.5 back. That's a tight top 4 in the NL Central.
Astros, with Brewers losing, will remain 7 back. So over this good stretch of play here, they've managed to chop a couple games off the lead.
Yeah, they're down by 9. 3-1.
Big road trip coming up.
Yeah.
You know, going into Arizona, the Diamondbacks have not played really well this year, and they haven't been very good at home. They're just 12-19 in their own ballpark. Then it gets a little dicey after that, heading into Arlington. Rangers are in first place. They played well at home, and then into the Metrodome. And the Twins, despite being 3 games under 500, are 9 over in the Metrodome. It's going to be kind of fun, though, to see Joe Mauer, Justin Verneau.
Very much so. Bases loaded now. Pudge out to talk it over with Tim Burdack. Milton Bradley has his one final at bat, it would appear, with a horrendous night underway. 0 for 5. with 2 strikeouts, a double play, and 2 foul pops.
If not hit the ball out of the infield. Yeah, this is a good hitter too. I mean, this is a tough night. And gets the turnaround from the right side, so maybe right-handed Milton will do a little bit better than left-handed Milton.
Right-handed Milton last year was just something else. He had a .651 slugging percentage against lefty pitching, and that led the American League.
If he pops up to the catcher, I would assume everybody in the Cubs dugout is going to either run up to the tunnel or get way into the corner and hide. And we talked about it earlier. Milton, he's had some issues, but any hitter, anybody having the night he has, you could see him snapping.
Fox, Fukudome, and Lee waiting for the 1-1 pitch from Burdack. It's 1-2.
His timing is just off. You can see you can tell by the body language, the way he kind of looks off into the distance after he swings and misses.
Strike 3. What a miserable night for Milton Bradley, but the Cubs lead at 7-0 going to the bottom of the ninth. The ninth now for the Astros, who have been blanked 5 times this season, and they will be facing lefty reliever Sean Marshall, who was a starter earlier this season. The Cubs were a little short on lefties in the bullpen. Marshall is 3-5 with a 4.79 ERA.
He's been in 12 ball games, 8 as a starter. He's not been used much lately. He pitched an inning and a third in Cincinnati over the weekend. That was his first appearance since May 31st.
The big lefty goes to work with Carlos Lee coming up, and then Berkman and Rodriguez.
6'7", 220, tall, lanky left-hander, fastball, curve, slider, and a changeup. Well, I guess the big question now for the Astros is if they score the touchdown, do they kick the extra point and play for overtime, or do they go for the 2-point conversion and just try to end it?
You're thinking about 2.
I'm with you.
There's ball 1. Seems like even worse than a 7-0 score. The Cubs have out-hit the Astros 16-4. They've left 16 men on base to the Astros 6. Foul away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. They've led ever since they got 3 in the top of the first inning. Marshall has appeared once against the Astros. That was in relief, facing 1 batter in Chicago May 16th. He retired Lance Berkman with bases loaded. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sean, 26 years old, 6th round choice of the Cubs in 03. Richmond, Virginia. He went to Virginia Commonwealth. Big curveball.
It's the Rams, right? VCU.
Yeah.
Didn't his brother play?
Yes.
Red Sox signed him, maybe?
You got it.
Is he still playing? Or
Twin brother Brian, a 5th round Red Sox pick, 03. Don't know if he's still at it or not, but they both led Virginia Commonwealth to the Division I leading ERA in 03. Fly ball near the right field line. Bradley hustling over and lays out for it and tumbles over and retains possession. A great catch.
Well, that's that old adage. If you're having a tough night at the plate, at least you can do something to help your club defensively. And to say he's having a tough night at the plate is a huge understatement. It's been absolutely miserable for him. We get some small measure of revenge there with a fine play.
Yes, he does. He's able to hold on to it after tumbling over.
That's a great effort in a 7-0 ball game in the 9th. Nothing really on the line. But that pitcher on the hill sure appreciates that effort.
Lance Berkman looks at ball 1. He's 1 for 3. Singled in the 7th inning. Cubs trying to go to 6-2 against the Astros. 5-1 here. Bradley has just made a marvelous catch. Berkman drills one to left. They're getting up and no shutout tonight. Line drive homer for Lance Berkman. Number 11 and number 299 for Berkman in his career.
That's a big one. Because I promised at the start of the homestand he would get 300 before we left town.
That's right.
I forgot I made that promise. As if I can do anything about it. Yeah, I promise. We're going to do flash. I promise. Let's check that. I predict it.
True to his word. Man. JD launching that one for 299. Now one more, and that's got to come here so we can enjoy the tribute of the fans. Buzz Rodriguez looks at ball 1. He's 0 for 3. Bounces 1 to 3rd. Takes his time over the lead. 2 outs. Lance is only 6 runs batted in away from 1,000 in his career. He needs only 4 more hits for 1,500, so he's close to several milestones. Astros Live coming up next. Brought to you by M.D. Anderson. 7-1 ball game. That was hit number 5 for the Astros. Berkman has 2 of those. Tejada has a couple. Jeff Keppinger's 0 for 2 with a walk. Also delivered strike 1. Heilman in 1 1/3 innings allowed 1 hit, no runs, had no walks, 2 strikeouts. There's Ryan Dempster. We'll be seeing him on Thursday afternoon at 1:05 against Mike Hampton. 1 ball, 1 strike. Berkman's 4th homer batting right-handed. 1-2.
Oh, that's a big number for him from the outside this early in the year.
55 at bats. Right-handed for Lance. Sometimes he has 3 or 4 homers in an entire season of right-handed at bats. Foul back. Still a 1-2 count to Keppinger.
At 7 last year as a right-handed batter.
Last year was one of his best years hitting right-handed too. Cincinnati 3, Washington 2, bottom of the 8th. Washington has scored and is still batting. Christian Guzman hit his 3rd home run. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Keppinger. That's a shortstop. Terrio. And the Cubs have captured the opening game of this 3-game series, 7-1. Ted Lilly going to 7-4. Brian Moeller is 2-4. Final score, Cubs 7, Astros 1 tonight. Our next Astros game comes your way tomorrow.